Well, greetings all and welcome. We are coming at you from my campsite here in Quartzsite, Arizona, working on the Astro van once again. Got an overcast day today. It's supposed to rain later on this evening, tonight, so I'm trying to get some work done before that rain comes. But I'll show you what I'm up to here. Back on the inside of the van, I did get most of the bed frame completed, but I'm putting that on hold for reasons that I'll talk about here in a little bit later. So the project is continuing on this shelving cabinet unit for the passenger side of the van. Made a little bit of progress here. I actually built something partially and decided I wasn't happy with it, so I pulled it out and tore it apart. This is kind of the remainder of the wood there. I'll probably be able to salvage some of it, but what happened is I kind of mistakenly bought the wrong sheet of plywood. It was a little thinner than I hoped for. I wanted a full 1/2 inch and this is less than that, so I decided to scrap that unit. I may be able to use some of that for template purposes, but yeah, we'll show you back inside here what I'm up to. Yeah, I was gonna go with my initial idea there, but I just knew that I wouldn't be happy as time went on, and I wanted to do it the way that I wanted to do it. So yeah, just kind of beefing it up a little bit, going with the full 2x2 frame for the base of it, and I did get another sheet of plywood, which is a full 1/2 inch. It's just a lot sturdier. I'll be able to screw things together to it a lot easier than that thinner stuff. So yeah, wasted a little bit of lumber and money, but hopefully I can use the remainder of that sheet for other things or donate it to somebody. But what I'm planning on doing here is using this as kind of the base of this cabinet here. I will have a battery. This is my lithium battery I have there, stored on this end, and then up front I'm going to have my Blue Eddy power station, which is sitting up here on top of the bed right now, and then I'll have some extra storage in between there for other items. And that will be pretty much open as far as where the Blue Eddy is, and then I'll probably have it closed and partitioned off where the battery is, and just some open storage underneath there for miscellaneous things, shoes and whatnot. And then on this unit I'm actually going to have a face going on the back, kind of a headboard if you will, going all the way up to the ceiling and kind of contoured with the ceiling, and that will be one end of the cabinet. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the front end, and then I'll have multiple levels, probably 3, 1, 2, 3, an upper level that'll go all the way across, which will be closed. I'll have fold out doors on all of those that will fold down and also serve as kind of tabletop surfaces when they're folded down. So I gotta mention my thumb. I'm so sorry about that. Probably looks hideous. I smashed my thumb in the van door when I was leaving North Dakota. Probably gonna lose my thumbnail, but yeah, I don't have nail polish on. That's just a bruised nail there. But anyway, yeah, we'll kind of show you as I go along here. The tough part with this is, again, doing a template for the contour. So I'm working with cardboard, and yeah, we'll see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is the end piece that I cut previously. It's just with the thinner plywood. As you can see, it's just not as rigid as I would want it to be. This stuff, just being a little bit thicker, is a lot more rigid. So I did cut it out properly, so I was able to use it as a template, reuse it, and then hopefully I can use this and get something out of it. But for now, it's scrap. So I've got it traced out here with pencil, making sure that I've got the orientation correct. I like to cut from the back side, because the jigsaw blade tends to tear out on the back side. Just making sure that I had put the template down the right way, so when I flip this up it'll be facing the right way. Got it all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that cut. Got a backup battery charging. I think I'm going to run out of battery on this cut, but we'll see. All right, let's see if this is gonna fit here. Should be in the ballpark anyway. Nice. Yeah, that's about what we want. Perfect. Got a little bit of a bigger gap than I wanted on this back end here. You can see some daylight through there, but then again, it's probably better if it's not riding directly up against the wall paneling. Get some squeaking, and so I think that's going to work. I think I might have to trim a tiny bit off the top. Let's see, yeah, there's a little bump in the frame here. Just about there. Yeah, pretty darn close. Okay, so I'm repeating the same thing for the other end here, using the old template. It's a little bit It's a little bit off, so I had to make some adjustments. It's going to be a little bit wider than the original. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, let's give it a test fit. See how we did. Going right on the inside there. That beam, I think that's about perfect. Looking good. Sweet, coming together. So there it is. Yeah, I got the end piece, which goes all the way down to the floor on this side. And on the front of it, it's sitting on top of the shelf. I'll talk about why I'm doing that. I'm going to add more to the other side of this eventually, but I'm starting with this cabinet first. Here we are back at it once again. Today I am working on getting my bed set up. So this is where I've arrived here. I showed the bed frame in a previous video. I've also showed this cot in previous videos, but I've done a little modification to it. I hacked off all the legs on the cot, and I'm going to mount it to this wooden bed frame that I made. And really the reason why I'm doing that is this cot is very, very comfortable. I was really happy with it over the last year traveling around and sleeping on it. But what I found with it is the way the legs were oriented and the actual height of it was a little less than ideal. So building my own frame and attaching it to my own frame allows me to adjust it to the exact height I want, position the leg in the middle where I want it. So it's going to allow me to have better storage. A lot of it comes down to the wheel well in the van. So for this to work, because there's tension on these springs, I need to attach it. I'm going to use some pipe straps and strap it to the wood here, and that will keep it, because once I put weight on this, it's going to want to flex inward. These are going to want to come off the frame there. So I need to have that all strapped down and secured, and it should, in theory, work. I really hope so, because again, I really do like the comfort of this cot. In my past van builds, I've always just done like a plywood platform with a foam mattress on it. I will be putting a foam mattress on this as well, but after years and years and years of sleeping with a foam mattress on a rigid plywood platform, I found this to be just so much more comfortable. A lot of it's to do with the canvas here is flexible and the springs have give to it. So you're just not, I'm a slide sleeper, so my hips always bother me when I'm sleeping on this plywood platform setup. So hopefully this should work out. I'm going to try to get it strapped down and see if it's going to actually work, put some weight on it. We'll see. It may not hold up over time, but we'll give it a shot. So here's the idea that I have. I got these 1-inch pipe straps here, and I'm going to bend them. I already bent one like that. And I should be able to hang it right over the edge. I'll show you on the other side. And yeah, just clamp this down, and that'll keep it secured in place there. I think the best thing to do would be to drill a hole all the way through the wood and use a bolt rather than trying to use short screws coming in from each end. It is going to be a decent amount of weight that's put on there and pressure, and then, you know, over time, day in, day out, me getting on this and off of this. I think it maybe would be best to drill a hole all the way through and bolt it. So I don't believe I have bolts the proper length and size, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Today is a holiday. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this. Might be at a standstill for now, but I'm going to work on just getting all my, just taking a pair of vice grips and channel locks and bending these out so they're like this here. And then yeah, this seems to be the point where it wants to flex the most, right in the middle. So I'll put 2 on each side of this, on both sides, and then a couple more. I've got a good 10 of them, so, and then 1 on each end. Hopefully it'll work out in theory. That's my idea. But for now, this is how I'm doing it. Just got to make sure that this drill is super level, because if I go down at all, I'll miss the hole on the other side. These straps are just long enough, and I don't want to be up too high. I kind of want to be in the center of this 2x2 as possible. It's just to not weaken it. So this first one here barely made it. I had to actually drill out the holes on the pipe strap, so I'm going to try to get this one a little straighter here. Yep, I don't think I did very good. Oh, it's tight again. Shoot. Yep, I think we got it. Nice. Yeah, got that coming through there. Get a washer, lock washer and nut on there. We'll do a little test lay down here. See if the whole thing doesn't snap in half. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Oh yeah, very nice. And I have a 4-inch mattress that I put on top of this. These actually come with a thin mattress. I'll show you. This is the Coleman Ridgeline 3, in case anyone's wondering. And they do come with this little thin pad, but I put my 4-inch mattress. I've got it in the box van right now. Actually, all summer I had this with my 4-inch on top of it, and it was very comfortable. This actually just on its own is quite comfortable. So yeah, I think that's gonna work. Might put a couple more of these straps just for extra strength, but yeah, that's my custom cot bed frame there. Okay, so I have my custom made cot, modified cot in the van. I am going to be having a divider here. Initially I was thinking I was going to use the factory metal bulkhead. This van was a cargo van and it had the metal divider with a little pass-through door, and I was going to use just that section of the metal bulkhead, but figured I'd go with plywood. It's a little bit lighter, it'll be just as strong. There's not going to be a lot of stuff stored on here, so if I were going to get into an impact, really the only things that would be flying forward at me from behind the seat would be like my sleeping bag and pillows and stuff. So that's kind of an idea of how that's going to look. And we'll take a look on the passenger side, what I've been doing here. All right, we are continuing on trying to get this cabinet finished up here. I'm kind of at a standstill. I've run out of my 1/2-inch plywood. I need to make a run to get some more, but just been kind of test fitting the things that are going to be stored in here to make sure I have all my shelving height spaced most efficiently so I don't have a bunch of empty space above things. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a shorter shelf here that's just high enough to fit my pots and pans and plates, shorter items, and then up above it another shelf that'll keep my stove and these pots here. And then I have this kind of recessed in, so in front of it I can store taller items like this water bottle, that's a rice cooker, things like that, and utilize that space most efficiently as possible. What I'm focusing on today is this is going to extend out. I've kind of used some blue painter's tape here to mark the dimensions. This is going to extend out, so I'm building another little 2x2 frame that'll go in front there, and then I'll tie that in with the sheet 1/2 inch. So I'll have a table surface here, but what I think I'm going to do is actually have a drawer in there. So the drawer, I'm not decided yet if it's going to slide out towards the passenger seat here or have it slide out towards me here. I'm just going to kind of build it to where I can get it started and then figure out, make that decision. And then underneath there'll be a little storage cabinet there for some stuff. Yeah, I'll kind of show you as I go how I've been joining everything. This whole cabinet frame, I'm using all pocket screws. I have a pocket jig that drills this hole in at an angle, and then you can use wood glue and then screw in. And I've had good luck. I built the whole box fan with that. The bed frame that I'm sitting on here is all done with the pocket screws. So yeah, I'm going to get the front frame there, see if I can tie it in with this little sheet of plywood, and then it's going to be time to go get some more materials. But that's how things are looking. Okay, so this is the pocket screw jig I'm using. It's made by Craig. I've had this for years. I first got it for when I had the Chevy G20, and I started building on it, and it just works really good for the type of lumber that I generally use and the type of furniture I built for vans. I've just found it to be kind of the way to go. So it comes with this plastic jig here, the special drill that you need, and the bit for the screws. And yeah, you just clamp it in there, make sure you have it centered on the side that you want it, and just drill your hole. I'm doing 2 on each end of this. I can just pop it out. Make sure I don't have a bunch of sawdust in there so it sits nice and square. Line my center line up here. There's a little center line mark on the hole that you're going to use. Make sure it's flat, nice and square. Clamp it in. Then I try to hold it snug up against this block here. Just drill the hole. That's it. You got your nice pocket holes there. Okay, so this is what I'm going for here. I'm basically just extending out this frame. Just duplicated pretty much what I have going here already, the same dimensions. I'm just kind of tying it in differently instead of having these going all the way up. That's how I kind of should have done it on that one, but yeah, so I've got basically a duplicate of that end frame there. And this is just going to be slid out to the end of where I have this tape at. So with that there, I'm going to have the ability to pretty much have a whole nother little cabinet area. Probably have a little swing out door coming this way so I can access stuff in there. So these are the pocket screws here that you use with these. It's got a nice flat head. It's a square bit. The bit comes with the kit that I got, and they just fit right in there. You get a little chart on the back of the box that tells you whatever thickness wood you're using, the length of screw. There's a bunch of different lengths. So this uses a 2.5 inch screw for a 1x2 or a 2x2 because it needs to come through the wood about like that. So the way I'm doing this, I can make sure I got my top and bottom where I want it. It's going to be sitting like that and getting screwed in like that. So I'm going to apply some glue on the end before I do that. And then that screw will bring it in nice and snug so that glue sets. And then you get the double strength of the glue and the screw. Clean out the top of my glue bottle here. Nice good coating of wood glue there. I'm going to be doing it from that way. I always try to set that screw in so I know it's nice and straight where it needs to be. Make sure I have the clutch set on my driver here so I don't over tighten it and split the wood. You hear that clutch engage. And then I just look at it and make sure it's nice and squared up. I'm doing this without a chop saw so my ends aren't completely square. I'm just trying to get as close as I can. So that joint is nice and secure. I'll do the other one on the other end, and then I'll be putting the top on it like that. Okay, let's see how that looks inside. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going for here. Let me hop inside and give you a better look. So yeah, here's a look from the inside here. This is just kind of mocked up right now. This is all just balanced here. But yeah, that'll be the space for the drawer there. That'll be a good sized drawer that slides out this way and a decent sized little cabinet beneath. And this will all be finished off. Of course, I'll have paneling on the side to close it off on the side and back there, and then a little door on front. But that is pretty much what I'm going for, and I'm feeling really good about it. It's a perfect height and size little countertop to access from the edge of the bed here where I'm sitting, or great height for when I'm standing outside. That slider door opens to about here. I could set my little butane stove there, cook standing from outside, or have my stove on my folding table outside and just use this for like prepping vegetables and such. Yeah, and having my little racks here that I plan on building with all my cooking stuff, I think it's just going to work out really good and convenient and functional. So still need to formulate what I want to do as far as spacing out the shelves. So I've just been bringing everything in here and yeah, trying to get an idea of how to use this space most efficiently. I will be getting everything wired up here very soon. I'm just waiting on a couple things that I've ordered. I have my charge controller ready that will be mounted up against the back plywood of the cabinet, and strapping down the battery with some D-rings to the floor and cam lock straps. Same thing with the Bluetti will be secured down, so everything will be hopefully nice and safe. Fridge will be right here along lengthwise in between the cabinet and the bed. We'll have some space on each side of it, so that should work out really good. Still have room for the bike in back. Mentioned all this before, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. Feeling really good about it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I just want to thank you all for joining me again on the progress on this van build. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the finished product here. It's going to come pretty quick. So just wanted to wish you all a very happy new year out there. I think it's going to be a great year and lots of fun adventures to come on the channel here. And I will be posting a video very shortly on the box van. I need to get that totally cleaned out and finished up, ready for sale. And I'll be having a video where I show off all the functionality of the camper part, and then anything anyone would want to know about the condition of it, the paint, the tires. It does have a couple dents in it that were there when I bought the van. Stuff like that, so there's no surprises. And I do have a couple potential buyers that have been in touch already. But again, I just want to have a video out there to show it off so people know what they're getting into and don't waste their time traveling a distance to come check it out. So you can look forward to that. I am going to miss that box van. Was just talking to Kelly the other day. Just have a lot of good memories in that van. And yeah, it served me well for the time being, but I just do better in small spaces. I'll talk more about that once I'm fully moved into the Astro van, but that's just a decision after, you know, I've been on the road doing van life for 10, actually 11 years now, going on 12 years. So I've really figured out what I need and want for my future endeavors here. So again, Happy New Year to y'all. Hope you're doing well out there, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Take care. Peace.